Hey, it's Marissa. Today I am sharing my monthly report for August of 2024. So first, obviously, we are going to start with reading, which is R. And I read 5 books this month, which is insane because last month and all the months before, I was probably reading 1 to 2 books a month. So starting off with book number 1, I read None of This Is True by Jewell. It was a 5-star, page-turner, binge-worthy book. I literally could not stop thinking about it when I wasn't reading it. And when I was reading it, I just couldn't stop turning the page. I had to actually force myself to put this book down. Then I read One of Us is Dead by Jeneva Rose. That was borrowed to me by a friend to read, and she really enjoyed it. I also thought it was good, but it just felt a little bit basic for me, and I think I rated it a 4 out of 5. Next, I read The Good Part by Sophie Cousens. And my mom actually read this book first, and she told me it was really good. It is a contemporary romance. It has an element of time travel in it as well. And I thought this book was good. I would give it like a 3.75 out of 5. I know that's really specific, but there were just some parts where I felt like I was forcing myself to get through the book. But overall, I really did enjoy it. Book number 4 of the month was such a roller coaster. Never Lie by Frieda McFadden. I love Frieda McFadden's books, and I was disappointed in this book. About halfway through, I felt like I knew what was going on. I felt like it was very predictable, and then all of a sudden, I had no idea what was going on, and it really threw me for a loop. She is really just the queen of thrillers and mysteries, and I started off, when I was halfway, I was like, this is going to be like a 2 out of 5 if this ends how I'm predicting it to end. It did not end how I predicted it to end. I ended up rating it about a 4 out of 5 for this book. I did enjoy it. I wish that there was more going on in the beginning and the middle, but the end was amazing and action-packed. The last book I read this month was The Paradise Problem by Christina. And I actually still have 30 pages left of this book, but I'm just going to go ahead and say that I'm done with it because I am going to finish it at some point today or tomorrow, and it's actually due back at the library tomorrow. I have been supporting the library for sure because all of these right here are library books, and I got None of This Is True from the library as well, so don't forget about your local library. This book, I am going to have to go with a 3.5 out of 5 at this point. Unless something insane happens in the last 30 pages, I am sticking to my rating. But this book was just really basic. It was a nice beach read. This time of year, I'm really into thrillers, and I can zoom through a thriller really fast. And this one for me just didn't have enough going on. And it's kind of like in summer mode, and I'm not in summer mode anymore. Okay, next we have eating, and I have been eating a lot of overnight oats in the morning for breakfast. I've been making apple cinnamon overnight oats. I use the Quaker recipe, and then I've also been making chocolate peanut butter overnight oats, and that one is a recipe that I found on Pinterest, but I will link both in the description so that you can go try them out if you like overnight oats. Or even if you've never tried them, these are really good recipes to try. Side note, I am so excited for soup season. Max and I agreed that this year we are gonna have soup once a week. We usually make 3 things each week, 3 different meals, and then just eat the leftovers throughout the week. And we are going to make 1 soup each week. And it can be a recipe that we already have, or it can be a new recipe. Regardless, we're gonna have a lot of soup this fall and winter, and I'm so excited. Okay, for playing, if you've read this book and you enjoyed it, you know that the movie came out this month. So I actually have seen It Ends With Us twice now. I went with my friend Danny, and then I went again with my mom, my aunt, and my grandma, actually just this past Tuesday. So I'm filming this on Thursday, and I cried both times. I cried a little bit harder actually the second time seeing it, I think because I knew what was coming and I knew what to expect. But it's an incredible movie, and it's just incredible. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I know there's a lot of controversy around it, but I think that it was a really well done adaptation. They kept a lot from the book and put it into the movie. I thought the casting was spot on. Another thing that happened this month is Sabrina Carpenter's new album, Short and Sweet, came out. And I will admit, I have been living under a rock before this year when it comes to Sabrina Carpenter. She was not really on my radar, and then I think it's TikTok's doing that made me recognize her music. And obviously when Espresso and Please 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 came out, I was obsessed with those songs. And then when she said she was releasing an entire album, I'm like, okay, I am set. I am ready. I would say that some of my favorites from that album are Don't Smile. So Don't Smile is actually, it made me laugh when I first heard it, even though it's like a breakup song, because she flips Don't Cry Because It's Over, Smile Because It Happened. And she flips that traditional phrasing and that traditional saying to Don't Smile Because It Happened, Cry Because It's Over. And she wants the other person to be just as sad as she is for the breakup. And it's just a really good song. Bedchem obviously is amazing. Taste is like the first song, like I forget what they call that, but it's the first song in the album. That one is amazing too. And I also like Good Graces. Okay, for Obsessing, I couldn't think of what to come up with for this video. And then right before this, I was like, fall. I'm obsessing over fall. This past Sunday, I went fall home decor shopping and like Halloween decor shopping. And I am loving the fall drinks being back at Starbucks. All the fall things. I'm just so excited for cooler weather. I love fall outfits. I'm excited for things that we can do in fall. For the second R, recommending, I am recommending these Rent Fun kayak stations located all over the Fox Valley. There are some in Appleton. I believe there's maybe one in Kaukauna. Actually, I think it's Kimberly. Kimberly, Neenah, and Appleton, I believe, are the main areas that these Rent Fun stations are. Oh, and Oshkosh. But you basically just download the app on your phone, and then you can search a location. And they have, like I said, they have a couple locations over the Fox Valley. I would say there's probably about 6 locations near us. It was one of my favorite things that I've done in a really long time. It was $20 for the first 2 hours, and then you could pay $10 for each additional hour. So Max and I each took a kayak out, and it had the kayak, the life jacket, and the paddle. That was all included. And so it was $40 for us to go on these kayaks together. And we stayed out for probably an hour and 20 minutes. We took some snacks out, and we actually watched the sunset out there. So I recommend that. While the weather is still like sort of warm, I would recommend going in the evening or even in the morning. It's just such a relaxing time. We have gotten to the last letter in report, and that is T for treating. And I had a little bit of a hard time coming up with this one as well. I treated myself to nails again this month. Last month I went to Elysian. This month I also went to Elysian, and I went to Maria, and she did an amazing job on my nails. I just got baby pink almond shape. I almost said flavor. Almond shape, and I love them so much. So this is the second month in a row that I've gotten my nails done at Elysian, and I love it so much. However, my tea treating this month is my new Ninja blender, because I had an oysterizer, I think that's the brand, oysterizer blender with just like the little blades in the bottom. This one has like 6 massive blades, and it goes like, it's like this tall of blades all the way up, and it's incredible. Honestly, I have been wanting a nicer blender for a while now, but I just haven't pulled the trigger on one. And then on Sunday, when I was fall and home decor shopping, I ended up stopping at Walmart, and I got a new blender, and I'm obsessed with it. So highly recommend. There were a lot of people who replied to my story when I put it on there, and they said that they also have the same blender and they use it all the time and they love it so much. So I will link that blender too, in case you're looking for a new blender and you want one that comes highly recommended by myself and a lot of other people that I know. So yeah, happy blending. Tell me what you've been loving lately in the comments. I would love to try some new things and hear about what you have going on in your life. And I will see you next week in my next video. Bye.